Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. This is my latest video and it's going to be quite a short one, and it's how to do a star calibration in Astro Pixel Processor. So you're thinking, why do I need to do a star calibration? Well, it's in PixInsight, it's known as a colour calibration. An Astro Pixel Processor, you're basically looking at the colours of stars and you're trying to get the most accurate picture as possible. Well, I am anyway. So this is a way of looking at the stars in your image and setting the colours so that they are correct. There's a bit more physics to it than that, but I'll explain that in the video. So we'll get into it and I'll show you how to do it. For those that are wondering, Luna had a groove today and she's gone very sleepy. So I think she'll be my little sofa buddy for this video. Okay, so here for this video and the example of the star calibration, I have chosen a Milky Way image that I took back in summer from a place in Devon called Calibration. Now this place was seriously dark, and this image is actually only 223 seconds in total. I can't remember what the exact frame length was, but yeah, it's only 223 seconds in total. And I took it with my Canon 200D and a 50mm lens. And it's actually, this image has actually been cropped a little bit because I used a static tripod. And there was a tree down here, and obviously it got a little bit blurred when it was stacked, because obviously it was stacking the Milky Way, and obviously that was moving because I was using a static tripod. And my Canon 200D is actually stock. It's not Astro modified, so it's not even, you know, more sensitive to hydrogen alpha. It's just as it is, as it came from the factory. So why do we need to do a star calibration? Because often you see the Milky Way looking really blue on people's pictures on social media. Now there's nothing wrong with that. It's, you know, it makes for a pretty picture, but it's not actually accurate. Most of the stars in our Milky Way are getting on a bit, and so they tend to look more yellow. So when your Milky Way image looks blue, it might look pretty, but it's not actually taking into account what the stars actually look like. So I've loaded up this image, and there is a little bit of yellow, but it actually looks a bit green and a little bit of blue and a little bit flat. So if I click saturation, that will give us a better idea of the actual colour in the image. It's taking its time. So yeah, it's a little bit green. And now I've already done a background calibration. So I'm going to click calibrate star colours, which is a yes. Now I'm just going to do a couple of selection boxes of stars. I'm avoiding this bit because it's got a lot of nebulosity. I just want a selection of the stars in our Milky Way. So I'm going to click calculate. And we're using the adaptive blackbody and extinction calibration mode. Now Astro Pixel Processor is designed to give good results with the default settings. So it may be that after you do this, your image will be well calibrated, but if it's not, I'll show you how to tweak the settings to get the best calibration. So you'll notice it gives two graphs, and these are colour diagrams. So we've all seen the Hertzsprung-Russell diagrams, which show star colours. But these are colour diagrams, and they don't take in distance into account. So you'll notice that this has given a pretty good result already, but if you look at the diagrams, it's not the best result. What we're aiming for is this line, this green line, to actually provide the best fit for the star population. So you notice we've got some outliers. I'm going to ignore those, but if you have loads or you don't want them, you can change how many outliers you have with the star rejection kappa. And the white cross shows our white point. Now, before we go any further, I'll explain the physics of this a little bit. This is based on the theory of black bodies. So what is a black body? Now, if you go into Google and literally type in what is a black body, it will come out with this definition. A black body is an idealized, opaque object that absorbs all electromagnetic radiation it comes into contact with. It then emits thermal radiation in a continuous spectrum according to its temperature. Stars act approximately like black bodies. This explains why different stars have different colours. So cooler stars emit more radiation in the red part of the spectrum and hotter stars in the blue part of the spectrum. Now on our graph, more red and cooler stars are to the right, and more blue and hotter stars are to the left. Now this is a pretty good fit, but it can be made better. So these diagrams are tied together, always important to remember that, and we've got two slopes. So changing the slope changes the slope of that green line, and if you change one slope you want to change the other. So I'm going to change it in this direction by about 10%. I'm not going to take too much care, and then I'm going to click calculate. Now this is done on a colour camera. Mono camera, it's pretty much the same, but obviously how this will look will depend on the characteristics of your RGB filters. So you can already see that green line is already fitting the population a little bit better. Now I'm not too worried about this graph at the moment, I'm just concentrating on this one. And I'm just going to tweak it a little bit more. So calculate again. So the white line was our original black body model and the green is our updated one. Okay, so that is a pretty good fit that I'm happy with. So I'm going to click OK and save. So if you did want to change around the white point, etc., you could play with the different sliders on here to get, an even better fit. But I'm just going to save at this point. So if I now open up that image that we've just done a star calibration on, I'm just going to have a look around the image to see how well it's calibrated. First off, I'm going to boost the saturation up. Let's have a look. So if we have a scan around the image, you can see that there's a variety of star colours. So let's have a look here. Some blues, some yellows, some, white. Oh, excuse the coma of my lens here. And we've even got some, let's have a look, some reds, just a hint of red in the nebulas, which I think this is the Eagle Nebula and I think this is the Omega Nebula. Correct me if I'm wrong, please do, because I'm really not sure. But overall, I think that's a pretty well calibrated image. So now I will take this into Photoshop, boost the saturation just a little bit more and do a little bit of noise reduction, and that will be my Milky Way image finished. So hopefully this video has been of some use to you on showing you how to do a star calibration or colour calibration in Astro Pixel Processor. I just want to say thank you for all the suggestions of videos. I will be getting round to them all. I know I've had a few from Facebook and Instagram and also on YouTube itself. And as always, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the video in the comments, and always get in touch. Feel free to ask any questions. And basically, I just really appreciate you all taking the time to watch my content. All the best, and see you on my next video. Bye for now.